Shalom, or praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, the one to the apostles at Great Millstone. I got a news report here, and it's just in league with the RFID chip technology, mark of the beast prophecy in the book of Revelations. Here I'm just going to go into the information. It says, go mobile and embrace biometrics to secure borders, say news reports. This come out the 31st July 2017, which I think is yesterday. Mobile, it says, so basically what they're going to do here is talk about other forms of tracking, but then they're going to say that it's better to have biometrics. Now you check these companies out, these secure ID news, a lot of these, look, it's got the fingerprint at the top, the RFID, a lot of these are just here to push the RFID biometric system, man. People getting chipped, people getting tracked, but they just push it in different ways. Look, mobile devices are not just an efficient way for retailers and marketers to reach customers. According to a new paper, devices such as smartphones, tablets, and even body cameras can help secure borders via real-time identification of travelers and other tasks. So now we're talking about border control using these technologies. This is how this is his way of doing it. Mobile technology increasingly being deployed for frontline tasks in law enforcement, including police and borders. So now as we're talking about borders, you had Trump talking about chip. We need to stop these illegal aliens. Basically he was saying chip them, which he was talking about Mexicans. And then I got this thing with the immigrants coming in, and they use all that, So this is what they want, this is what the Rockefeller said. He said he wants to get everyone chipped. He said it to Aaron Russo. So this is true. So the report from the Secure Identity Alliance, Strong Identity, Strong Borders, provides a primer on the reasons to secure borders in the early 21st century and gives an example of how to do so via some of the latest technology. The most forward-looking sections of the paper involve mobile technology, which the Alliance, dedicated to the deployment of the digital identity, said is increasingly being deployed for frontline tasks in law enforcement, including police and borders. This can provide real-time access to complex IT systems at the front line. So you can see people's faces, see people's eyes, get a profile up on them. You can, the police, it's all linked, watching who's coming through the borders and stuff. Because that's what they had, man. Obviously, if traveling back in the 70s was not like traveling now, or as you go on, especially from the 9/11 thing. Real-time identification of travelers whose identity might be doubted, and not just for them, for everybody. Accessing immigration status and travel history. Conducting in-depth secondary, better border control at smaller or more remote ports and airstrips, dealing with large irregular arrivals of passengers or immigrants or disruption. Then they got all this strong border identity. It says secure borders with biometrics. The 17-page paper also promotes the concept of securing borders via a wider use of biometrics. Biometrics is your body, man. Yeah. Multimode biometrics can potentially allow faster and more accurate searching of a large collection. So saying it's better. We ain't gonna have this proper unless we use biometrics, which is eye scans, fingerprinting. Now this all leads to the chip, man, because of RFID. We've already got the other articles. This is new, this one here, but you got it all links, man. It all links. This is what they're pushing. They pushed it on the ITV. They pushed it on the Free Square company. They're pushing this, bro. They're pushing this mark. It says can be more robust in finding a match if some data is incomplete or poor, or enable a link to other systems where different biometrics have been stored. Yeah, because they're basically saying you can fake external things, but you can't fake the internal biometric system. That's what they're saying. Because it's more sinister than what they're putting out there. You don't obey, that chip gets messed with, man. They show you that in a lot of the movies, man. I think they show you that in Equilibrium, if I'm not mistaken. I ain't watched the movie in a while. Says fingerprints might end up being one of the main biometrics deployed to secure borders. So they'll all have your fingerprint on a database system. And that's, if you're a criminal, that's when you get fingerprinted, you go in there, they take a lot of, if you got tattoos or, you know, different stuff, if you go in the system, that's how the police get all that data, you know. But you got examples of some criminals burn their fingerprints or alter their fingerprints and stuff in their face to get away. So they want something like, if you got an animal, you got a cat. Even when they put a tag on you, but you could put the tag somewhere. I know people that put the tag on a cat, man. Which the police know about that shit anyway. They know what people do. So they already know. So you think these people are stupid. So they saying, look, man, we need to get them chipped. Because these criminals have got ways around things. But they want to get everyone chipped, still viewed by the public in a negative light. After all, countless TV shows and movies have having home the idea that fingerprints exist in the realm of the criminal. So they're the ones telling you that. They're the ones pushing it out that for criminals, we need these fingerprints. And people are saying, people are still doubting it. So they want an extreme more measure because people are still, like, people don't even want to get, people are like, look, man, I'm not a criminal, man. Why should I get fingerprinted? Because that means we're all being treated like criminals. A lot of people don't want to eat it. So a lot of people don't want to accept that. You think people are going to want to accept that? A lot of people don't want to accept. A lot of people are going to run to shit because they want to eat, man. They want them benefits. They want them jobs. But there's people that really don't want to get the concept of it. Newer systems on smartphones that use fingerprints to authenticate identity and payment are working to change that perception. Use of biometrics and integration between passengers, border services, and airport operations will compete. The paper predicts data analytics, deep data mining, data learning, and applies smart integration to large collections of data. So there you go. So secure ID news. Let me read this. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Excuse me. It says, at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So you can't be ignorant to this information, man. The Bible is telling you that. The Bible right here is telling you that at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That's the scriptures telling you that, man. So we're in the time of the chip, man. You know. Stay up. Shalom.